Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Unlocking You 2.0. This is Spencer, your emotion and body code practitioner, and Ballwinder, your transformational leadership coach, coming together today to give you some more lessons about how to really, break out of your shell and live the best life and unlock You 2.0. So I hope everyone out there had a wonderful, wonderful weekend. And today's topic, we're actually talking about something very, very important, because a lot of us out there think that failure is one of the biggest reasons why we don't go for our dreams or whatever it is. But really, there's something a little bit more insidious, and what that insidious thing is doubt.
Mhm.
Doubt. There's been,
Yes.
and just like what we've talked about, doubt kills more dreams than failure ever will. And today I'm just going to pass this right
Mhm.
over to you, Bally, and kind of talk to us about how does that work? What does that look
Absolutely.
like?
Awesome. Thank you so much for that, Spencer. And you're totally right. We think it's failure that kills us. It's failure that doesn't let us move forward in life. But in fact, it's the exact opposite of that. Believe it or not. You see, when we fail, we're learning something. We're moving forward. We're growing, and we fail to realize that a lot of times because we feel like, oh man, I failed or I didn't achieve this. Oh, this sucks. But the reality is you failed. Now you know what you can't do to going forward.
Mm,
And you think about anyone that's successful in this world, at anything in this world. You think of kids, when they're learning to walk. How many times do they fall over? Or how many times do they lose their balance, or they stumble, and kids will cry for a few seconds and then they're going to get right back up and try it again.
yeah.
And that's really what we need to do in life, is that when we fail, hey, let's get up, brush ourselves off, and let's do it again. The big thing is that let's take away the lessons and say, okay, look, I failed, I wasn't successful at this. And this could be anything. Maybe it was a diet, maybe it was an exercise regime, maybe it was spending money wisely. Who knows what it could be? But any one of those things. But the thing is what you need to do now is take away, okay, why did I fail? What was it that prevented me? So now when I do this again, I cannot fail, or I can
Mm,
improve myself. And you might fail 100 times before you get it right. It's okay. But let me tell you, here's the thing, is that you will never, ever even have the opportunity to fail if you start doubting yourself.
mm.
If you let what's between this 6 inches right here get to the best of you, you will not even have the opportunity to try and fail. It'll just be straight, I can't do this. I won't be able to do that. And now that's not for me, or I'm too young right now, or geez, I'm too old for this. But let me tell you, any of those answers, they're not valid. The only time it's valid is when you try. And when you try and you fail forward, you're now like, okay, hey, you know, this is I did this, like, I got halfway there. Now I can get the whole way there. So stop letting what's here prevent you from even failing, because the reality is failing is growth. When you fail, you're growing, because it means you tried, you made an attempt, you weren't successful at something. But if you're not even failing and you're just sitting there in one spot because of what's going on in here, well, you're stuck. So if you want to be unstuck, Spencer will tell you what happens on the subconscious side. What happens between the 6 inches right here, Spencer, that keeps us stuck. And
Absolutely.
and
Oh,
before you start, Spencer, I want to
yeah.
just tell you folks that it's absolutely normal to be stuck. Don't be like, oh my God, I'm stuck. Oh God, what's wrong with me? I'll share a personal story with you, is that for 10 years, I was stuck. From the age of 28 to 38, I was really stuck. That doesn't mean I didn't accomplish things, I didn't try things, but I was just stuck. I let what was in between here get the best of me. And
Mm.
then along came Spencer, and all of a sudden he cleared all this up and I was unstuck. So Spencer, let's talk about that. What did you do? What is it on the subconscious side that was going on in here that had me doubting myself, that was killing all my dreams and wasn't allowing me to even fail forward?
Absolutely. And thank you so much for that. Because all of that stuff that you said, it's just, it's, man, it's unbelievably true. And it's one
Hmm.
of those things where it's like, you think about a quote, I think it's Theodore Roosevelt who said it, where it's like, there's three different things. It's like, um, you can either like do the right thing, which is
Yeah,
the best thing, and then the second best thing is doing the wrong thing, and then the third best thing is, or the worst thing you can do is nothing. So
absolutely.
like the absolute worst thing you can do is absolutely nothing. Now,
Hmm.
there's lots of reasons why we may have doubts, and so a lot of those reasons are what we talk about in the emotion code, just the emotion code itself, where
Hmm.
we have all kinds of various trapped emotions, and one of those trapped emotions definitely could be failure. Because the thing is if you have a trapped emotion of failure stuck somewhere in your body,
Yeah.
then that could prevent you from wanting to go out there and do that,
Hmm.
because it's just, you have this natural thing where it's like this vibrating little trapped emotion of failure, and
Yeah.
that's going to prevent you from wanting to go out there and do stuff. But you may have some nervousness, you may have
Hmm.
some worry or anxiety or hopelessness or lack of control, or how many out there, or how many are people out there, if you're anything like me, I've had a very bad moments of low self-esteem. Like
Hmm.
that really, really kills it for you too, because if you have this low self-esteem little vibration, guess what? You automatically doubt yourself in every capacity. Um,
Absolutely.
in addition to that, there may be insecurities. There may be
Hmm.
of like a vulnerability where you have this little trapped emotion vibrating where it's like, well, no, if you go out there, you're going to be very, very vulnerable, and
Yeah.
we can't allow that to happen. There
Hmm.
might be some heartaches that you've had where you've had your heart broken by, maybe you've had a bad relationship, or and it doesn't even have
Hmm.
to be relationship based. Maybe you were really just going for something, like going for a dream, and then boom, it got kind of pulled out from underneath you,
Yeah.
and it's like, well, now your heart is literally like broken, right? Like
Yeah.
you have this trapped emotion of heartache. And then there's the whole unworthiness, worthless, feeling shameful about it. If
Yeah.
these emotions are in there too, guess what? You're going to doubt yourself even more, because these emotions are kind of compounding and compiling on top of each other, which then
Yeah.
down the road turn to more and more trapped emotions and more energies, which, let's face it, isn't very fun.
No.
So and with all these too, it's not even your own experience. Yes, a good amount of those trapped emotions or different energies trapped in there could very well be your own experiences, but think about
Hmm.
this for a second. It might even be an inherited experience or an inherited emotion from somewhere up the ancestry. We talk about getting different genes for different diseases and being like
Hmm.
more susceptible to certain things. Well, the
Yeah.
same thing with emotions and trapped emotions. We can actually inherit a trapped emotion of insecurity or failure
Hmm.
or worry from people. How many people out there have parents that you're like, oh man, mom, you worry about everything?
Yeah.
Guess what? You might have that same trapped emotion. And if we can release that, cool story, you can release that from her too. But it might
It is very cool.
it's nuts. So I mean, it could be absorbed. There's lots of
Hmm.
different ways it could be. And
Yeah.
the other kind of thing I wanted to talk about too is it might not just be the specific emotion that's trapped there. You might
Hmm.
actually have some sort of imbalance in some of your organs. So for example, the stomach and the spleen, they're actually
Yeah.
responsible for creating the emotions of nervousness, worry, anxiety, hopelessness,
Hmm.
lack of control. So
Yeah.
if you have an imbalance in one of those organs where it's just not functioning properly,
Yeah.
there could, due to other imbalances in the body code as well, then guess what? When you have that imbalance, it's just constant, like it's like on repeat. It's like we need to kind of create more of these emotions so that maybe one day your body will recognize that maybe something's not going on with one of these
Hmm.
different organs of mine.
Yeah.
And even with the heart as well, having a heart imbalance can lead, it's a major factor in
Hmm.
depression and anxiety. So if
Yeah.
you're kind of riddled with anxiety, riddled with depression, you have low self-esteem, low self-worth, you're going to doubt yourself a
Yeah.
whole lot, and that is the most insidious part. Now we can kind of get in there and we can extract and we can remove all these different things
Hmm.
over time. Obviously we can't get it all at once.
Yeah.
And one thing I really want to note about this too, because I think a big part of why people might not want to do the emotion code is because they think it's very invasive. They might think that it's something that you have to get in there and talk about all these issues with people, stuff that's gone in your life or whatever
Yeah.
that you don't really want to get into and you're not
Mhm.
prepared to talk about. Well, in the Emotion Code Body Code, we don't actually have to get into that. It's
Yeah.
very non-invasive, and we can literally just ask your body just specific emotions. We're not mind readers. We're
Yeah.
not thinking about, oh, it's not like we get this video of exactly what happened in your
Mhm.
life. It's nothing like that. We're literally
Yeah.
asking yes and no questions, and we're not invading your personal space whatsoever. So that's the one
Absolutely.
thing that recently came to light and something I've thought about lately, where it's like I think people are a little bit hesitant because they
Mhm.
don't want to open up and they don't want to share the skeletons in the closet. And with
Yeah.
Emotion Code and Body Code, it's so non-invasive that you don't even have to do that. We can
Yeah.
literally just
Absolutely.
ask your body, is whatever you're thinking about, is that the experience this is relating to? Yes or
Mhm.
no, right? We
Yeah.
can be as open or as private as we'd like to be. So I
Yeah.
just wanted
Yeah.
to say that.
Hey,
With that,
to add, let me just add to that, Spencer.
yeah,
Sorry to cut you off, but
no worries.
just to tell you, I worked with someone who's a police officer in the past with Emotion Code,
Hmm,
and a lot of the issues that were in his life were due to his career. Now, he can't talk about his career because that's private information, right? So
yeah.
even with that, we had great success. He didn't tell us anything. He didn't share anything with us. Everything was completely private, yet we still had great success with him. So don't feel like you have to come and share and open up and tell us your biggest fears because that's not necessary. Okay.
Not at all. Yeah, absolutely. And that's just it. You really don't have to get into it if you don't want to. You can
Hmm.
be as open or as private as you choose to be. We're just here
Hmm.
to clear it out. That's all we
Yeah,
do.
absolutely.
So with that, that's kind of my section on this doubt and this kind of lingering insidious thing in the background
Hmm.
that's going to steal more of our dreams than anything else, really.
Yeah.
So is there anything else you'd like to add, Valley?
No, you know what? I think that's perfect, Spencer. Look, if you're watching this right now and you're stuck or you're full of doubt and you're not moving forward because you're doubting yourself, you're stuck where you are in life, then you need to reach out to myself, send me a message on Facebook Messenger, connect with Spencer, either one of us, and we can start your journey. We can undoubt you, okay? And just clear this up so you can start failing forward and
Yeah.
and moving forward with your life. So with that said, learn more about what we're doing at our website, www.leadyourideallife.com. Okay, there's a couple of cool videos that talk about what we do and how we do it. And then this Thursday, we don't have a live webinar because it's Thanksgiving in the US, and the organization we're with is based out of the US. So no live
Mm.
webinar this Thursday. However, if you want a recording of the webinar and you want to watch it on your own time, connect with us because we'll set you up with that. Okay, we'll provide you with a link that's exclusive that has a recording, and you'll be able to watch that webinar in your own time. It'll be an amazing about 45 minutes that will truly change your life. So
Mm.
if you do want to register for our next live webinar, visit our website at www.2020recoverymanual.com. And really, that's it. We'll be back tomorrow. We'll have a guest that we're going to interview. So I'm looking forward to that. And I hope you all have a fabulous, fabulous day and stay safe. Thanks so much.
See you guys.